All right, so let's dive right in. We've got tons to cover today.
Yeah, it looks like a really interesting mix of news.
Exactly. Web 3.0, crypto, bit of entertainment tech, even a little AI for good measure. You ready to go?
Absolutely. Where should we start?
Well, we've got some great sources today. Web3 Wire, Dapfort developers, even the Web3 Foundation.
Oh, nice. Always love hearing what they have to say.
Me too. So let's start with Web 3.0. Web3 Wire has this article. It really dives into the potential. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting pretty excited.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal, right? I mean, decentralization, user ownership, new ways to interact online. It feels like we're on the verge of a real shift.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of, remember those really early websites? Like clunky, basic?
Totally.
It feels like Web 3.0 could be that big of a change.
I think you're right. It's about fundamentally changing the way the internet works.
And it's not just theoretical either.
Yeah,
I mean, we're seeing this idea of user ownership popping up everywhere.
totally. Like in gaming, even finance.
For sure, Web3 Wire actually highlighted Quebetics, Litecoin, and Kronos as cryptocurrencies that are really running with this decentralized approach.
Yeah, those are some interesting picks. They each have a sort of unique take on how we interact with digital assets.
So break that down for me a bit. What makes these specific cryptos stand out? Because honestly, it seems like there are new ones popping up every day.
Well, for example, Litecoin is known for its speed and affordability, especially compared to something like Bitcoin. And then you have Quebetics, which is, well, it's more about building this whole decentralized ecosystem for scientific research and development.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's a totally different use case.
Right. And then you have Kronos, which is, it's all about creating a more efficient platform for decentralized finance applications.
So it's
Mm.
not just about buying and selling crypto anymore. It's about like actually using this technology to solve real world problems.
That's exactly it. And speaking of problem solving, Web3 Wire also put together this other article. It goes into a few more cryptocurrencies that they think are poised for growth.
Oh, interesting. So is this like a buy now kind of thing?
I wouldn't say that necessarily. It's always important to, do your research, understand the risks.
Of course, yeah. But it's definitely a market worth keeping an eye on.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about the future of entertainment. Get ready for a world dominated by voice commands and anime.
I am ready. That's actually, that's something Web3 Wire reported on. They're predicting significant growth for both.
Yeah, the voice recognition market report,
Yeah.
it paints this future where we're basically talking to all our devices.
Right, which brings up some pretty fascinating questions.
Like, will we all be having conversations with our toasters?
Haha, maybe. But seriously, think about the implications of that kind of shift towards voice control, I mean.
Yeah, like what are some of the pros and cons we should be thinking about?
Well, for one thing, it could make technology so much more accessible for people who maybe have difficulty using traditional interfaces.
Oh, that's a great point.
But then you also have to think about privacy and security. Who has access to all that voice data, and how can we make sure that these systems are inclusive and don't create new barriers for people with disabilities or accents that maybe AI has trouble understanding?
Yeah, it's almost like every technological advancement comes with this whole set of new challenges and ethical considerations that we have to be mindful of.
Exactly. It's a balancing act for sure.
For sure. And speaking of global phenomena, anime, it looks like it's poised for even more explosive growth.
Yeah, streaming services have made it so much more accessible, and there's just this growing appreciation for the artistry and storytelling in anime.
Okay, so confession time. I haven't really explored the world of anime yet.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are some of the things that are driving this surge in popularity?
Well, the quality of the animations has just gotten so much better in recent years, and there's just such a huge variety of genres and styles out there. Like there's literally something for everyone.
Okay, maybe I need to add some anime to my watch list.
You should. You won't regret it.
All right, duly noted. And while we're talking entertainment, let's not forget gaming, especially mobile gaming.
Oh, right. The Web3 Wire report, they predicted massive growth in that sector too.
Which isn't surprising, right? I mean,
Yeah.
mobile games are they're getting so sophisticated, so immersive.
It's incredible, right? And it's only going to get even more intense as smartphone technology keeps improving and 5G rolls out everywhere.
I know. It's
Yeah.
crazy to think about. I remember playing Snake on my old Nokia phone.
Yeah, those were the days.
And now we have like these massive multiplayer online games that can fit in your pocket.
It's wild, but as the market keeps expanding, it's running into some unique challenges.
Like what?
Well, one of the biggest is creating games that are engaging and rewarding without becoming too addictive or relying too heavily on microtransactions.
Yeah, that's a tough line to walk. It's
Yeah.
like you want players to be invested, but you don't want them to feel like they're being taken advantage of.
Right, exactly. It's all about finding that balance. And then, there are also concerns about data privacy and security, especially as games become more and more integrated with our online identities.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a whole other can of worms.
We need to make sure that player data is being handled responsibly. That's
Yeah.
that's crucial. It's a balancing act, that's for sure. But moving on, let's talk about cryptocurrency, how it's moving beyond just investment.
Yeah, that's what I find really interesting because, I think a lot of people still see crypto as this kind of mysterious, speculative
Right.
thing,
Right.
but it's so much more than that.
Exactly. Adapt for developers, they have this article. It's about the top 10 cryptocurrency business ideas for 2025. And it really gets you
Oh,
thinking.
wow. Okay, give me some examples. What are we talking about here?
Okay, so imagine decentralized marketplaces where
Hmm.
buyers and sellers can connect directly without needing some central authority.
Oh, interesting.
Or supply chain management platforms that use blockchain to track goods and products, from beginning to end. So you have transparency and accountability at every step.
So we're talking about like using blockchain technology to create more efficient, more trustworthy systems across all kinds of industries.
Exactly. And there are even crypto-based crowdfunding platforms that allow creators and entrepreneurs to raise funds directly from their communities.
Wow, that's so it's like this whole new world of entrepreneurial opportunities is opening up.
I think so, yeah. It's really exciting. And speaking of innovation in the crypto space, the Web3 Foundation, they just announced this new AI assistant. It's called Clarys.AI.
Clarys.AI.
Yeah, and it's designed to make navigating blockchain governance so much easier, especially for Polkadot's OpenGov system.
Okay, this is interesting because one of the biggest challenges with crypto, I think, is making these complex systems understandable to the average person, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a huge barrier to entry.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think I'm pretty tech savvy, but even I get lost sometimes in all the jargon and technical details.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So how does this Clarys.ai actually simplify things?
Well, think of it as like a personalized guide to the world of blockchain governance.
Okay, I like that.
It can provide you with clear, concise information about proposals and discussions happening within the Polkadot ecosystem, and it does it in a way that's easy to understand.
So it's like having an expert on call to help you make sense of it all.
Yeah, exactly. It can answer your questions, help you understand the implications of different proposals. It can even guide you through the process of participating in governance decisions.
Wow, that's pretty amazing, especially with, all the stories we hear about scams and confusion in the crypto world.
Right. It's a minefield out there.
It is. So having a tool like this that can help people navigate this space safely and confidently,
Yeah.
that could be a real game changer.
I think so too.
Hmm, that's fascinating. Okay, so switching gears again, we have another story here. This one's from Web 3 O'Clock. It's about Seed. It's a company that's building a massive Web3 gaming ecosystem.
Seed.
Yeah, and get this, they have backing from the SUI Foundation, and their goal is to reach 100 million users.
100 million. That's ambitious.
It is. What makes them so confident they can reach that kind of scale?
Well, they're really betting big on the future of Web3 gaming, which is all about, giving players more ownership and control over their in-game assets.
Right. So instead of just buying a game and,
Huh.
being at the mercy of the developers, you actually own a piece of the game world.
Exactly. It's a pretty revolutionary concept, and
Oh,
it's attracting a lot of attention from both gamers and investors.
I can see why. I mean, that's a whole different level of engagement.
Seed is just one example. There are a ton of companies building in this space right now.
So we're going to see a lot more innovation and experimentation in the coming years.
Oh, absolutely. It's gonna be wild.
I'm really curious to see how it all plays out. But for now, let's shift gears one more time. Let's talk about something a little more serious. Healthcare.
Okay. Yeah.
Web 3 O'Clock has a report on Innovaxer. It's a company that just raised $275 million to transform healthcare with AI and cloud power.
That's a great example of how cutting edge technology is being applied to real world problems.
It is. And the potential for AI in healthcare, it's huge.
It is. It is. It's immense.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about this lately, AI in healthcare. But I'm still a little fuzzy on the specifics. What are some of the ways that AI can actually improve things?
Well, for starters, AI can help doctors diagnose diseases more accurately and efficiently.
Yeah, how so?
There are already AI-powered systems that can analyze medical images like X-rays and MRIs,
Oh, well,
and they can detect signs of cancer or other conditions that maybe a human eye would miss.
it's like having a second set of eyes, but even more powerful.
Exactly. And AI can also help personalize treatment plans.
Oh, interesting.
By analyzing a patient's medical history, genetic information, lifestyle factors, AI can help doctors determine the most effective course of treatment.
That makes a lot of sense because every patient is different, right? The one size fits all approach to medicine, it doesn't always work.
You're exactly right. And that's where AI can really shine. It can help tailor treatments to the individual needs of each patient. And that leads to better outcomes, a higher quality of care.
It sounds like AI has the potential to completely transform the way we think about healthcare.
It really does. And it's not just about improving patient care. Either AI can also help streamline administrative tasks, reduce costs, make the healthcare system as a whole more efficient.
So it's like a win-win for everyone involved.
I think so, yeah. Now, before we get too carried away with the future of healthcare, let's touch back on the crypto markets for a second.
Oh, right. Yeah, we were talking about some of the hottest movers and shakers.
Exactly. Web 3 o'clock has one final piece for us today. It highlights a few key developments.
Okay, hit me with the crypto news.
All right, so one of the most interesting things is this partnership between Ripple and Chainlink.
Ripple and Chainlink. Okay.
Yeah, and they're working together to transform their HRLUSD stablecoin.
Stablecoins. I've been hearing a lot about those lately.
Yeah.
Can you remind me what those are and why this partnership is significant?
Sure. So stablecoins they're a type of cryptocurrency that are pegged to the value of a stable asset, like
Right.
like the US dollar, for example.
Oh, okay. So it's like a bridge between the traditional financial world and the crypto world.
Exactly. And this partnership between Ripple and Chainlink, it's significant because it brings together two major players in the blockchain space.
Interesting. So what does this mean for the future of stablecoins?
Well, I think it suggests that we're going to see more collaboration and integration between different blockchain projects.
Hmm.
And this could lead to the development of even more stable and reliable stablecoins, which would be a major step forward for the adoption of crypto in everyday life.
Okay, so that's Ripple and Chainlink.
Hmm.
What about the other players mentioned in the article? Ethereum and Minotaurus, I think.
Right. So Ethereum, it's showing strong signs of a potential breakout towards $6,000,
Wow.
which would be a major milestone for the world's second largest cryptocurrency.
Yeah, Ethereum has been on a roll lately.
Wow.
What do you think? What's driving that surge in price?
Well, a few factors.
Okay.
First, Ethereum is undergoing a major upgrade that will make it more scalable and efficient.
Okay.
And second, there's growing interest in decentralized finance, DeFi. And Ethereum is the leading platform for DeFi applications.
So it's a combination of technological advancements and increased demand.
Exactly. And then there's Minotaurus. It's a newcomer that's making waves in the Web3 gaming space.
Web3 gaming again. It seems like that's the hot topic these days.
It is. And
Yeah.
and Minotaurus is one of the companies that's leading the charge.
Okay, so lots to watch the crypto world as always. But I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've gone from the rise of Web 3.0 to the transformative potential of AI and healthcare and everything in between.
It is fascinating, isn't it, how these seemingly disparate trends are all interconnected. It's like we're witnessing the birth of a new digital age, and it's both exciting and a little bit daunting.
It is. It's like we're all on a roller coaster ride into the future.
Yeah.
And the only way to avoid getting whiplash is to pay attention and try to understand what's coming next.
Exactly. And remember, the future isn't predetermined. It's shaped by the choices we make today. So it's more important than ever to stay informed and engage in these conversations.
Absolutely. So to our listeners out there, what are some key takeaways you should be thinking about as you navigate this rapidly changing world?
I think the biggest takeaway is that the pace of change is accelerating. We're seeing new technologies emerge and evolve at an unprecedented rate, and it's crucial to stay curious, keep learning, and adapt to these changes.
Don't be afraid to embrace new ideas
Yeah.
and experiment. The world is changing, and those who are willing to learn and adapt will be the ones who thrive.
That's a great way to put it. Now here's a final thought for you to ponder. we've seen reports on how these trends are supposed to play out, but how will they really affect our daily lives? Will we all be talking to our refrigerators and playing blockchain games in 5 years? What are your predictions?
That's the beauty of it all, right? It's full of surprises.
Exactly. So stay curious, keep exploring, and who knows, maybe you will be the one shaping the trends of tomorrow.
I love that.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the latest news and trends.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today.
We hope you enjoy this whirlwind tour of the future. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the most important news and trends shaping our world.